I've always been the kind of guy who prefers the comforting glow of a computer screen to the unpredictable chaos of the outside world. My name is Alex, a 24-year-old software engineer living in a modest apartment in the city. It's a world of code and coffee, late nights and early mornings, where my biggest concerns are usually debugging and deadlines. The day started like any other. I woke up to the blaring sound of my alarm, groaned as I rolled out of bed, and shuffled towards my coffee machine, a sacred ritual to kickstart my brain. My apartment was cluttered with gadgets and gizmos, remnants of past projects and failed attempts at hobbies. I liked it that way. It felt like a chaotic extension of my own mind. As I sipped my coffee, my gaze fell on the photo frame on my desk, a picture of my parents and me during a rare vacation we took together. They've always been supportive, pushing me to follow my passion for technology, even though it meant having a son who often seemed more connected to his computer than to the people around him. I was just booting up my laptop when the world outside my window exploded into chaos. A deep, resonant hum filled the air, a sound so powerful it seemed to vibrate through my very bones. Curiosity overpowered my usual reluctance to engage with the unpredictable world outside. I peered out the window, my eyes widening in disbelief. Massive ships, unlike anything I'd ever seen, loomed in the sky. They were ominous and dark, cutting through the clouds with an intimidating precision. Panic flooded the streets as people ran in every direction, their screams a stark contrast to the eerie silence that emanated from the alien crafts. For a moment, I was frozen, my mind struggling to process the scene unfolding before me. This was the stuff of sci-fi movies, not real life. And yet, the fear that gripped my heart was undeniably real. I was torn between the urge to hide away, to barricade myself in my fortress of solitude, and the instinctual need to find my parents, to ensure they were safe. My hands trembled as I grabbed my phone, frantically dialing my parents' number. The line beeped incessantly, a cruel reminder of how fragile our connections can be when chaos erupts. I couldn't just stand here doing nothing. I had to act. I had to make sure my parents were okay. With a deep breath, I grabbed my backpack, stuffing it with essentials: my laptop, charger, a flashlight, and some canned food. The weight of the bag was comforting, a tangible reminder that I was not completely powerless. Stepping out of my apartment, I was hit by the cacophony of car alarms, sirens, and the distant yet ever-present hum of the alien ships. The air was thick with fear and confusion. People were running, but it was unclear where they were going, or if there was anywhere safe to go at all. As I made my way through the chaos, my mind raced with questions. Why were they here? What did they want? And most importantly, how could someone like me, a mere software engineer with a penchant for order and logic, possibly survive in this new terrifying world? The journey to my parents' house was a blur of adrenaline and fear. Every shadow seemed like a lurking danger, every sound a potential threat. When I finally reached their neighborhood, the relief I felt was quickly replaced by a sinking feeling of dread. The street was eerily silent, the familiar houses standing like silent sentinels amidst the chaos. I approached their house, my heart pounding in my chest. The door was ajar, an ominous sign that sent a shiver down my spine. Pushing it open, I stepped inside, my eyes scanning for any sign of them. The house was in disarray, a stark contrast to the meticulous order they always maintained. "Mom? Dad?" I called out, my voice barely a whisper, as if speaking any louder would shatter the fragile hope that was keeping me together. There was no answer, just the sound of my own breathing and the distant hum of the alien ships. The realization hit me like a physical blow. I was alone, truly alone, in a world that had changed overnight. The weight of the unknown pressed down on me, a reminder that this was just the beginning of a journey I never asked for, a journey into the unknown. With the realization of my parents' absence weighing heavily on me, I felt a surge of desperation. The familiar walls of their home, once a sanctuary of warmth and laughter, now seemed hollow, amplifying my sense of isolation. My mind raced, trying to piece together their last words, their last whereabouts. But the shock of the invasion had blurred my memories. I was about to step back into the chaos outside when a faint, almost imperceptible noise caught my attention. It was coming from the basement. My heart pounded against my ribcage as I moved cautiously, every step fueled by a blend of fear and hope. The door creaked open, revealing the dimly lit staircase descending into the unknown. "Alex?" A familiar voice trembled in the darkness. It was my father, his figure emerging into the faint light, my mother by his side. Relief washed over me, so intense it was almost suffocating. They were safe, but the fear in their eyes mirrored my own. They spoke of the ships, of the world thrown into disarray, and of their decision to hide, waiting for me, hoping I'd return. We knew we couldn't stay. The world outside was changing, and we needed to find safety, or at least some semblance of it. We gathered a few more supplies, our movements swift, driven by the adrenaline that had not ceased coursing through our veins since the invasion began. The city was unrecognizable, the streets once bustling with life now deserted, save for the abandoned cars and the distant, haunting sounds of chaos. The ships hovered ominously, casting shadows that seemed to quell any remaining glimmer of hope. But it was in this moment of despair that the human spirit, resilient as ever, began to shine through the darkness. Whispers of resistance, of groups banding together, reached our ears. Humanity was not going quietly into the night. Despite the fear, there was a determination, a collective resolve to fight, to survive. It was this resolve that led us to them, to the group that would soon become our new family, our comrades in a fight that was just beginning. The days turned into weeks, weeks into months. We adapted, we learned, and we fought. My skills as a software engineer, once confined to the digital realm, became a weapon against the invaders. We hacked their systems, we disrupted their communications, and we gave humanity a fighting chance. In the end, it was not just the technology or the weapons that turned the tide. It was the unyielding spirit of humanity, the refusal to succumb to despair that pushed us forward day after excruciating day. We fought for our planet, for our loved ones, and for the future. And when the dust settled, when the last ship retreated into the starlit sky, we knew that the world would never be the same. We had glimpsed the fragility of our existence, the thin line between order and chaos. But we had also witnessed the strength of unity, the power of hope. As I stood amidst the ruins, my family by my side, I realized that this was not the end, but a new beginning. A chance to rebuild, to learn from our past, and to forge a future where the sky was no longer a source of fear, but a canvas of endless possibilities. The world had changed, and so had I. But one thing remained certain: as long as we stood together, united by our shared humanity, we would never face the darkness alone.